You are welcome to Abrahamic Mission. Abrahamic Mission is a program that is designed to enlighten us about the two main religions in Nigeria, that is Islam and Christianity. I always tell you, very soon the Jewish community will also join, so that we have the three Abrahamic members to see why they practice, or how they practice what they practice. It is not to compare and contrast. It is for us to see, like, which area are you seeing it? How are you seeing what you are seeing? Based on the way they are seeing it, that is the way we want to accept it, not to compare and contrast. Once again, you are welcome to Abrahamic Mission. My name is Imam Fuad Adeyemi, and joining me today to discuss a special topic which is relevant to all of us. It is how to take precaution during this COVID-19. And joining me to discuss this is one man. Today I'm not going to start with a man that people don't know. I'm going to start from where we know, with Imam Nura Khalid, who is the chief imam of Apo Legislative Quarters Mosque. Imam Nura Khalid, you are welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
For those who don't know him, is that popular imam. We also refer to him as the digital imam. Also joining us is a man that wears double cap. He is the country rep of KAICID. Many of us will ask, what is KAICID? KAICID is King Abdulaziz International Center for Interreligious and Intercultural Dialogue. He is their representative here in Nigeria, and the headquarters is in Vienna, Austria. Is Mr. Joseph Atang. Mr. Joseph, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Before we continue, I quickly want to, after I read something, you will tell us what KAICID, what do you do precisely, and who owns it. Perhaps our viewers will appreciate your sitting here. Today we will be discussing how to cope with the freedom that government has given us during this COVID-19 pandemic. Recently, government locked down everywhere to protect and to contain the spread of coronavirus in Nigeria. But after about 3-4 weeks, it was unlocked. Despite the fact that the country has been unlocked, it has been observed that the number of infection is now rising. The virus is still very, very violent. So it means the freedom we have should be a cautious freedom. And that is what we are discussing today. But before we discuss that, let me quickly go into the messages which we have received during the past episode. I will start from a man that is based in South Africa at a place called Sea Point, Cape Town in South Africa. He said, my name is M.O. Alabi. He said, good evening, men of God. It is a very good contribution from you all. Really, I really appreciate, especially for me, who is a Muslim and married to a Catholic. Both of our parents are supportive and good people in general. As the man of the house, I would like my children to be Muslim, although I prefer my wife to continue to be a Christian because she's indeed a prayer warrior. Thank you all, as you're making my family stronger. Salam, shalom. That's the way you put it. This lady writes, she said, Salamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Karim Rafiat. Abdul Karim Rafiat. This program is really interesting and educating. May Almighty Allah continue to give you wisdom and understanding. Another man writes, he said, good evening, the panelists on Abrahamic Mission. I am Ungoru Ukechuku Emmanuel from Lagos State. I commend you all for your in-depth explanation of the scriptures. May God reward you all. Amen. My take is that obedience to any rule in the family is best ascertained through obedience rather than compulsion. Parents as couples and as instructors should always allow their children the freedom to take action. Then they will evaluate their action and give correction where there is need. The wife should understand the husband, and the husband should always strive to understand the wife, so that there will be peace and harmony at home.
I think we can take the first message to give answer to him as an example.
Okay.
The first family, the father a Muslim, and the mother a Christian, and he prepare his wife to remain a Christian because she's a prayer warrior. And this is a very good point where you have an example of tolerance in a family. When you tolerate your family, your wife, she will tolerate you, and there will be a peace.
Thank you, sir.
And after all, we are serving one God. Like this, the name of this program, we are all from Abraham. Our religions are all from Abraham, and so tolerance. We have to tolerate each other.
Thank you. This man said Ugochukwu Ata Emmanuel from Enugu State. The program is very nice. Our people said teach a child where to follow when he or she go. He will follow his or her footstep. We are learning from you people. Another one say, indeed, this is a good program. I hail the producer of this program. You can see why we don't need to be involved in religious crisis. With program like this, Nigeria can be a better place for everyone. Let's not allow politics to disunite us between Christian and Muslim. There is no difference. He said, I think the problem of abuse and violence, the family has a lot to do here, because charity, they say, begins at home. This one, right, he says, please sir, why is it that some parents do not allow their child to marry another religion? Is it good or bad? Ola Jesu from Ogun State. Do you hear that?
Yeah, it depends on who is the parents and who are the children involved. Maybe if somebody want my child to marry his daughter, and the daughter is not behaving well, I could decide to give advice to my child not to take her as a wife, not because of the religion, but because of the behavior.
You want to?
Yeah, well, honestly, it's a little bit difficult to explain why some people do that.
Yes.
Everybody has his own reason.
Yes.
For not allowing his child or his child to marry another religion. It's all this about this intolerance that we're talking about in religion, which we actually have to, Some of the reasons are doctrinal. Some of the reasons are actually political.
Yeah.
Because it happens, it's not in every part of this country that people are refusing their children to marry other religions. So we need to educate people.
Yes.
We need to be more tolerant.
This one says, I'm happy to see a program of this nature in Nigeria. More power to your elbow. I want to ask the Imam a question about a particular passage in the Quran which he quoted as saying women have equal rights. The question is, how come men can marry as many as they can while the women can't? No malicious intention, please, just curious.
Well, to my own understanding, and as many scholars explain, is because the Almighty who created the world already designed it to have many women than men. So when you have more women, like what is happening in the world today, we have more women than men. And in that case, and many men died more than women. So in that case, we need men to have more wives than women to have more husbands.
I will. You want to say something? Because for me, I think we need to discuss this one extensively.
Yeah. Because
the way you have said it, but people should just hold on. By God's grace, our next few episodes will be based on plurality of spouses. Let me put it that way. I don't want to. The next, by God's grace, will be plurality of spouses. So that I want to see the reason why people marry more than one. Is it right? Is it godly? What does it entail if at all you are marrying more than one? We'll discuss that one extensively by God's grace. Just be on the lookout. This one says, my name is Comrade Alfonsos from Bonny Island in Rivers State. I'm extremely impressed with your teachings in this program. The lessons, if internalized by all, would definitely lead to a changed nation. I watch with rapt attention to this teaching, which center on approaching issue at home and the society non-violently. The manner of approach and kind way of conveying messages as taught by you is well understood. But you know there are people that don't listen. However, how diplomatic and careful you treat them. How do we handle this group? You know there are exceptions to every rule. Domestic violence is very bad, but you know action begets reaction. Keep up the good work. Let's change the mindset of our people to good behavior. Did you listen? I think what they are reacting to, one of our previous episodes is about domestic violence, and people are actually making a lot of reaction here. This one says, please, let's this reach to the state television. Okay, let me start from where it starts. He said, my people, I just happy with you people and this program. I just happy with you people and this program. Do you know that wherever I go on Sunday, immediately time for this program reach, I will leave everything and everything I'm doing and start coming back. I've learned a lot from this program. I even begging to love Muslim people very well, unlike before. We were not well informed. From Zubi, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Owerri. I don't know whether you get what that man says.
Yeah, he said he don't like to miss it, and he has even started loving Muslims before he hates Muslim. Maybe because of the wrong perception he had.
You want to say something?
That's a good one, actually. Very positive for this program. So
yeah, this one says
that there will be a multiplier effect
by God's grace. I don't know whether I can get a message. One man said he always reads this message. He always listen to the program with his people, and we are disturbing him for not translating this, because as he's watching, he'll be translating for his people. That people used to sit around him whenever this program is being aired. So he was begging that we should please be translating in their language so that he will concentrate in watching it.
What is his language?
I think it's from Delta.
Okay.
I think it's from Delta.
Yeah.
We want to appreciate him. I don't know. We received so many messages. I've replied him. I've appreciated him for the work he is doing. Please keep it up. And there is this man, I want to read these two messages before we go on this short break. This one says, great is this program. Great are the guests, and great is Adeyemi, who is preparing men for the greatest place in heaven. Men had in Sunday 28th episode that they will one day transfer their authority to wife or children in the house when they are old. It is an unknown fact that opens our hearts today. May God bless you for that. Pastor Olowojoba Chris from Ilora in Oyo State. I don't know whether you remember that.
I was one of the guests that day.
Yes.
And you rightly said that at the beginning man is in charge in the house. And later on the wife becomes in charge.
Yes.
And later on the
finally
children. Yeah, finally the children.
The children took over.
Yeah.
That progression.
That progression.
Yeah.
Men we used to deceive themselves. They think it at the head of the family. Nobody, God has given permanent leadership in this world. No matter how powerful, you will live, others will take, whether you like it or not. Even at home, the first 25-30 years, when you get married, yes, man is the head. By 25-30, you will have retired, you don't have anything, the woman takes over a little bit. The children take over the two of you. They are the one who decide where you sit, what you eat, where you go, what you wear. So that is the way Almighty God has created it, and we should know that fact. And lastly, I want to thank one very big viewer of this program, and it is His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, who has never missed the program, both the main episode of every Friday 11:30 to 12 and that of Sunday by 5 p.m. every Sunday. We want to thank him. We want to appreciate him for his courage, for the encouragement that he is giving us, the support that he is giving us. We pray Almighty Allah will continue to support you. Almighty Allah will give you good health and long life, so that this good thing, the peace which you are taking round, that you'll be able to do it for long and with Allah's blessing. Thank you so much. It is with this that we'll now go on a very short break, but don't go away. The program now continues.
together. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
You are welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Abrahamic Mission, and today we are discussing taking precaution during this COVID-19. And joining me to discuss this program is Mr. Joseph Atang, who is the country rep for KAISEED. And KAISEED, you will tell us more about that. And also we have Imam Nura Khalid, who is the chief imam of Apple Legislative Quarters. If you have anything that has digits, you can get him. Mr. Tank, I want to start with you. You said you are the country rep of KAISEED. KAISEED is King Abdulaziz
International
Center for Intercultural Interfaith and Intercultural Dialogue. King Abdulaziz. Which King Abdulaziz? Please, I want you to introduce us to that. I want to know what is KAISEED.
The King Abdulaziz we're talking about is the King Abdulaziz of Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
So it is named after him because it was his idea.
Okay.
And then he sold the idea to Pope Francis.
Mm-hmm.
And
Pope Francis,
yes.
Okay.
And he accepted it. The idea is to establish an interreligious and intercultural dialogue center. The king realized that, well, there are conflicts all over the world, and people are working on these conflicts. Organizations, individuals are working on these conflicts, but we still have them, multiplying even. So he now realized that there is a very important, very critical sector of humanity that is not being used effectively to deal with these conflicts, and these are the religious leaders. So they decided to set up this center specifically to use religious leaders to broker peace in places, to handle conflicts, to deal with conflicts, to do interfaith work. Now that is the reason why KAISEED was established, to use religious leaders because they have a lot of leverage. Religious leaders are very respected, highly respected people. The president is right there in the mosque in front of the imam. The president is right there in front of the pastor. The governor is there. The minister is there. The commissioner is there. The permanent secretary is there. The truck pusher is there. The almajiri is there. The trader is there. Everybody is there, from the top to bottom. So they are there. So they have a lot of leverage, and because they have this respect and people actually listen to them.
Okay.
They have this advantage to deal with this conflict.
Okay.
Yes.
But you said it is intergovernmental.
Yes. It is
what do you mean by that?
Yes, it's intergovernmental because there are 4 countries involved in establishing KAISEED.
Okay.
And the 4 countries are Spain, Austria, Saudi Arabia, and the Vatican.
Okay.
The Vatican is actually the an observer.
Okay.
To the team, but those 3 are actually the main ones.
Okay.
The headquarters is in Vienna, Austria.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Because it's not your program, so I think I will stop it that way.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Imam, recently we were locked down, and when we were locked down, I think people pressurized government. I'm sorry. or probably in government owns wisdom, they unlock the lockdown. But despite this unlock the lockdown, there are so many challenges. But before we get there, the issue of coronavirus in our country here, we still have a challenge. Some people still don't believe that it is real. As an imam, how will you convince your people that this is real? Or how will you convince the generality of human beings that listen to you that coronavirus is real?
Well, coronavirus is a pandemic, and when we say a pandemic, is a kind of disease that will penetrate from one region to another. And coronavirus is a virus that has been discovered just December last year. It's a new one, and according to all faiths, disease is real. It is not a new thing for a person to see that, for human to see a disease. And communicable disease is also real according to faiths. Faiths agree that one can communicate a disease to another person, particularly Islam. Because when you look at the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ, he said that when you see a communicable disease like leprosy, run away from it the way you can run away from a lion. So this is an indicator that there is no faith that rejects disease, and subsequently there is no faith that rejects communicable disease. So, and there is a strong warning in the Quran that wala tulqu bi aydikum ila tahaluka. Do not send yourself with your own hands to distractions. So you cannot use your, and in another verse in chapter 4 he said wala taqtulu anfusakum. Do not kill yourself. Inna Allah kana bikum rahima. Allah is merciful to you. So with this we can say that coronavirus is real, and taking precaution is also required by Islam or by any faith.
But despite what you have said, some people in this country, they still believe it is just some people who they don't want you to go to mosque, they don't want you to go to church. They still don't believe that this is real in Nigeria.
Well, they may lack reason to do so. They don't have any reason, any scientific or religious reason to prove this.
Okay.
Although there could be mistake in one way or the other in the way to tackling the virus or the pandemic. But people should not use that to reject the reality that there is virus that is threatening the world. If it is something that has to do with religion, for instance, it could not attack it will not attack America, or America will not allow the virus to attack its people, and Saudi Arabia is being attacked. If you could remember, if anybody could remember, this disease started in China by December last year, and later on in January it penetrated to Iran. So if you look at the faiths, China is not a Christian country, it's not a Muslim country. It has no particular religion to claim except Buddhism. But they have it there, and it went to Iran, which is Sunni Islam,
Iran? No,
Iran,
Shia Islam.
yeah, Shia Islam. And then later it went to Turkey, where it is Sunni Muslim, and then penetrate to Europe from there, and now it is more in the in America and Europe than in Africa and Asia or the Middle East. Okay. So you can see we cannot claim that it is because they want to fight Islam, because it's more in their area than in the Muslim countries. Okay. And we cannot say it is there to fight Christianity, because it causes the lockdown of the two central grand mosques of the world. The Kaaba, the Hajj is no more going to be taken. Is going to be observed by some indigenes of the Saudi Arabia. So it has no any religion basis.
Okay.
It is just human attack.
Yes, you want to say?
Yes. Those who don't believe the existence of COVID-19 are making a big mistake.
Right.
It's a big mistake. And let's look at it on three levels. One, on the level of reason.
Okay.
If you believe that people get a headache, if you believe that there is malaria, there is typhoid fever, that you can even have a headache, why would you believe that there is a disease called COVID-19? So it's simple. Why would you choose to believe one disease and not believe in another one? Now, on the level of reality, this thing is real. We are seeing it. We are seeing people dropping dead. We are seeing countries announcing the number of people who have been infected and the number of people who have died. I don't believe any country will be lying to people that a certain number of people have died from COVID-19, a disease, a pandemic called COVID-19. In any case, we see photographs, we see videos of people dropping dead in some parts of the world. So why is it that we won't believe it? And even if we go religious, God created everything, including the microbes and the bacteria and the viruses and everything. So there's a purpose why God created them. And in any case, God created us as human beings. He didn't create us to live forever. He created us, and of course He brought in all these challenges. Sometimes we fall sick, we have a headache, sometimes we are attacked by bacteria, sometimes we are attacked by a virus. It's all there. God has a good reason for allowing that to happen to us. So even spiritually, even religiously, there is no reason why anybody should not believe that there is a pandemic called COVID-19.
Thank you so much. But I think with this, I always tell people that anybody that is holding a gun, if you are not holding, any sensible person, the first thing you do is to take cover. Make sure that you do not allow yourself to be killed by that gun. I think this is military palace. I used to hear it. They say when somebody is holding gun, just make sure that you save first. When you now get saved, you hear the gun, you discover that there's nothing in that gun again. You can now come out. Who are you? What do you think? You can now start. But if you allow yourself to be killed, that will be the end of you. So it means this sickness is killing. Yes, whether you agree or you don't agree, just take precaution first. Don't die. Then you can now talk and begin to speak English to say this is not real, this is it. But if you allow yourself to die, then that might be the end.
In other words,
okay,
you have nothing to lose if you take precaution, but you have many things to lose if it is true and you don't take precaution.
That's a good,
you see,
that's a very logical one.
Yeah.
So we just have to be alive first before we do what to do. And well, like in my introductory talk, when this thing started, I think in March, the government locked down some 3 states, Lagos, Ogun, and FCT, and before the general lockdown, about 2-3 weeks later, then after government decided to unlock the lockdown. But as at the time when they unlocked the lockdown, when they locked down the country, we are having less than 2,000 3,000 infection. Now we're around 20-something thousand now, and the government has now unlocked
The lockdown.
the lockdown. And it means the virus is still, like I said earlier on, very, very violent. Now we have what I can call a dangerous freedom. What do we do during this type of freedom, so to say, that the government has given to people now? But I always call it a regimented freedom, because there are certain things you need to take into precaution. What shall we now be doing that there is this freedom? Do you want to react to that?
Well, the unlocking of the lockdown actually has 3 reasons.
Okay.
One is economic, because people need to move around to source for livelihood. And staying at home is really very difficult. You can't stay at home. Only very few of us can afford to stay at home and still take care of our needs, basic needs. But even if you can, there's a limited, there's time limit to that. You can't do it forever. So that's the reason why it had to be the unlock of the lockdown. Another one is psychosocial. Psychosocial in the sense that people are locked up in their houses, they are not moving around, and stress, trauma. We hear cases of domestic violence as increasing during this period. So it's better to just let people at least just go out, air out, and then at least
wind down.
Yes, wind down with friends, and then come back very carefully. Then of course you have the issue of spirituality. We are spirits. We are spiritual. Man is a spirit and needs to satisfy the spiritual urge. Exactly. Yes. So people need to go to mosque. People to pray. Of course, we know we can pray at home. People need to go to the church. We know you can pray at home, but that togetherness, that camaraderie that you get, and togetherness, and in some religions even say there is a blessing in group praying, group worship. So that one too, to satisfy our spiritual needs. Those are the 3 reasons why the lockdown has been unlocked.
Okay.
So, but what it means actually is, it doesn't mean that COVID, the pandemic, the disease has gone. It's like, look, we understand these problems. We understand you're going through these 3 challenges. So let's ease this a little bit, but please do this and do that. There are regulations, which is like advice. So people are now, I don't want to say on their own, no, because the government still cares. Government still cares. People are left to their own consciences to avoid everything possible, following government guidelines, and even your own personal hygiene practices to stay away from this disease. So it is there very much, and we have to be very, very careful. You can move around, for example, you can move from point A to point B, but as you are moving from point A to point B, take precaution. And wearing of the mask, using of hand sanitizers, avoid crowds. If you enter a bus, don't make sure that there are not too many people inside the bus, like that. So we should be careful. People are on their own now, not in the negative sense, but people are now, we are all now on our own. And
Well, it is clear that there are things that you can compromise and there are things that you can never compromise. That is where we find ourselves in a serious dilemma, whether to continue with the lockdown or to free people. I mean, the government was in a dilemma, a very serious one. I don't want to say that the pressure from the society is too much on them, but I want to believe that the challenges that the economic challenges that they cannot compromise, and as well as comparing it with the community health how will they prevent the community, and how will they continue with the challenges of the economy.
Okay.
Now, so now as they look at it, now people have understood what we mean by the protocol. So let's leave them so that they will continue with their economic activities, so that we less the problem of the economy, and let's continue to educate them, enlighten them, and inform them more about what is happening in the society. So people must now realize that the protocol is there. We must observe the protocol of dealing with COVID-19. First of all is, if not necessary, stay home. Don't even go and interact with people. But if you must be in a midst of people, then cover your face with a mask. And don't shake hands with anybody. Observe the social and physical distancing. And in case you've touched anybody or something, you must wash your hand with soap or detergent or sanitizer. It's very important to enlighten people more about this.
Okay.
Because they don't understand easily.
And that is what we want to do. We will enlighten people more on this, but it will be after this short break.
Thank you.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Yeah, welcome back. Our leaders here have told us that we just have to take precaution. And what type of precaution do you say we should be taking? Because we must enlighten ourselves. Now enlighten us.
Well, first of all, it's about staying safe.
Okay.
And to stay safe, you have to stay at home if not necessary for you to go out. And if you should go out, then before you be in a midst of people, put on the mask to protect yourself.
Okay.
And don't touch anything or anybody with your bare hands.
Okay.
In case you do, quickly wash your hands with soap or detergent water. Or what you call it, sanitizer. And if you are using soap or detergent, it must be under running water. And don't touch something and quickly touch your nose or your mouth or your eyes, because that is where you get infected very easily.
Okay.
That is the protocol. And observe social and physical distancing, about 2 meters between one person and another.
Okay, I will still come back to you.
Okay.
Mr. Tang, there is interfaith dialogue for peace. Where this thing interests me is that it's a combination of the Muslim and Christian working together for peace. Now they are working for COVID. What are you doing as an organization now to enlighten the people? Now, incidentally, the two people are in your hand. It is the combination of the Muslim and Christian working together. What are you doing to enlighten our people to stay safe?
Yeah, so apart from being the country representative for CAICID, I'm also the technical advisor for Interfaith Dialogue Forum for Peace. Interfaith Dialogue Forum for Peace is actually an interfaith platform for Christians and Muslims, 50 Christians, 50 Muslims, to work on peace, to do peace building in Nigeria. So what CAICID is doing, what IDFP is doing, or it's going to do now, because we're starting it next week. But this is also some bit of it, is to go out to 10 states in Nigeria to do sensitization and creation of awareness. You see, fighting this disease is like fighting a conflict. And fighting because it's like fighting a conflict. You cannot fight a conflict too much. It is like peace building. You cannot have too much peace building. There cannot be too much peace building. So people need awareness, and we believe that people still, even those who already are aware, they need to be reminded.
Okay.
Because people tend to, to like take things for granted after some time. That so IDFP is moving to 10 states, including the Federal Capital Territory. IDFP is going to Kaduna State, Kano State, Plateau State, Borno State, Oyo State, Imo State, Enugu, Niger, and Lagos State to do sensitization and
why not
creation of
KB and
awareness.
Osun? You didn't put KB, you didn't put Osun. Why?
KB and Osun, we're doing it. You see, what we did was, we took a look at that time we were making this decision, we took a look at the states that were mostly affected at
go
that
ahead.
time.
Okay.
And then we
Osun is also
these
affected,
two.
but go ahead.
Yeah, Osun, at that
Ogun.
time we were deciding
Okay.
Osun was not too critical. But now it's actually getting critical. We learned
And what about
the commissioner has died now, and so we will
That is
take a look-
Ondo, where a commissioner
Okay,
died.
sorry, so
No,
Ondo.
no.
Yes, it's Ondo. So we will,
Still move up.
when you're doing a project, you do an evaluation.
Okay.
We keep evaluating and evaluating. Maybe next time we'll do it, but this time we're concentrating on these 10 states. So what we're doing is to sensitize people more and to create awareness, to let people know that truly this disease exists, because people tend to have fallen back to the fact that because it doesn't affect them directly, it has not affected anybody in your house, it has not affected you, it has not affected anybody in your village. So it's like, this is not true, but it is true, it is real. So we want to go out there and let people know that this is actually real.
Okay.
And in the process of doing sensitization and creation of awareness, we're also going to do a little bit of assistance in giving some personal protective equipment, like the masks, like hand sanitizers, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You say you are going to enlighten the people and create an awareness. Oh yeah, enlighten us. Yeah, you are talking as an IDFP now. Now enlighten us. What do we expect from you?
Yeah, what you expect from us is exactly what
Sheikh Noor Khalid.
Yes, Sheikh, what the respected Sheikh has already said.
Incidental is also a member.
He's a member of IDFP.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do demonstrations.
Okay.
We're going to gather people respecting social distancing.
Okay.
We're not going to have more than 20 people at a time.
Oh,
and
that's
they will
wonderful.
respect social distance too.
Okay, that's
So
good.
then we will demonstrate to them using sanitary buckets,
Okay.
demonstrate to them how to wash hands, the kind of face mask that they should use,
Okay.
all kinds of things like he's saying.
Okay.
So we're going to do that for them and then answer questions from them.
Okay.
We're going to get questions from them, and we're going to answer the questions so that they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
And then we give them some, some
PPE.
some PPE
Okay.
stuff. Just a little, just by the way. Anyway.
Okay.
The main thing is to sensitize.
I think we have to appreciate that, because if everybody is doing little, that little will become big. So I think we will encourage you to do more, and all others too, whether Islam, Christian, or any religion whatsoever. You should begin to sensitize your people. But that is even where I want to go now. That how do you now help government with what we've had the IDFP want to do? How do you now help government or religious houses? How do you do to support this sensitization, so that to make people to be aware that this thing is real, not just that it's real, what to do to stay safe? How do you now address your audience, your congregants?
Well, one of the most important ways is the imams and the pastors, leading pastors in the church, must make sure that they lead by example.
How?
If I come to the mosque and enter without washing my hands, somebody that is behind me, watching me from behind, will not take it important.
Supposing you have spiritual power that can protect you.
Assuming I have the one you gave me, then I will now.
I used to wash my hand. I used to cover my nose. I don't even shake you. So which one do I have?
Because
if I have it, I wouldn't have been doing that.
Because you lead by example. So somebody will think that as the imam don't want to wash his hand, then I will not wash my own. If the imam comes with his marks, actively walk into the mimbar and speak with it, people will think, hence the imam is using this. This is very important.
And the pastor too is using it.
Something happened during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Hudaybiyah.
What is Hudaybiyah?
It's a place before Mecca.
Okay.
He wanted to go for Umrah.
Okay.
And now the Quraysh blocked him.
What is the Quraysh?
The people of Mecca.
Okay.
The tribe of Mecca. The Meccans blocked him that
so
he
they
will not enter.
The Quraysh.
Yes.
Okay.
So they blocked him, and he brought with him many animals for sacrifice. So now he ordered his people to slaughter their animals, and he went ahead into his canopy to rest. After some times, he came out without seeing one single animal slaughtered. He then asked, do you want wrath of Allah? Do you want punishment of Allah to descend to you? I ordered you to slaughter your animals, and you keep them like that. He went back. Then his wife, Salma, heard him shouting. She asked him, what happened? He said, I ordered them to slaughter their animals. They refused. She then asked him, did you slaughter your own? He said, no. She said, go out quietly and slaughter your own and see what will happen. He went out and slaughtered his own. As he was about to finish, almost everybody have started slaughtering his own. So this is leadership by example. If we do it, we are going to win this battle.
And by extension.
By extension.
No, I want to, my own is different from your own. Okay. By extension, the importance of women at home.
That's great one. You see, that's why I like you. You see, so you by extension, after doing that, let's be patient with those ignorants who don't understand that there is COVID-19, or some who claim that it is just for the rich and the big men. So they don't understand that it could be at the beginning for the big men, because they went overseas and got infected and come back. But they have drivers, they have cooks, they have relatives who are not rich, who are not big men. And if their driver got infected in the car, he will now move where? To his own family who are not rich. And from there, it will be separate. And one thing, if the virus enter into Maitama, for example, it will have a limited way of spreading than if it get into Maraba.
Well, you are only talking because you are Abuja people. Some people don't know what is Maitama, what is Maraba.
Maitama is low density area.
Okay.
You have very few people, and Maraba is a high density area.
Okay. You want to add more as you go ahead? You want to add to what he has said? Okay. Now, recently too, the government is appealing to religious houses now to pray. Do you mean that with this kind of challenges, prayers can do anything?
I think it's the only alternative.
What do you mean by alternative? Do you mean that science has failed?
No.
Science cannot work?
No. If I have a new car and a way to my hometown is very good car, very new one, and I have an expert driver, this is a physical way of moving. but my spirit needs something to support that journey. I need something spiritually. I need spiritual
Support.
or divine support and intervention so that I will reach there safely.
Okay.
So now, to add to all what the NCDC,
and all the health workers,
the health workers are doing, the government is doing,
the
PTF, whatever people are doing, let's now align that with prayers. It works. And Nigeria is one of the places that we can say to the world that yes, we have strong people to pray for us. During one time, we have a problem in the governance, and the government decided to call the Christians and the Muslims to pray. I think you are one of the people who prayed.
Yeah, that was a national prayer in 1998.
You see? So, and in less than 40 days, we have seen
the result.
So, with this, we can say that the government must be serious about this, not only to say it on air or invite some people. Let's organize a national prayer against coronavirus and for the plan of post-COVID world, because we are going to enter a new world.
Yeah.
And there will be a recession, there will be less job, there will be no job, there will be problems. So I think it is high time for us to pray for Nigeria, and we have to have an official national prayer which will call on the pastors and the imams together to pray for the nation.
You know, we cannot underrate prayer.
Okay.
Like the saints say, prayer honestly is the ultimate. I know science is there, they're trying to come up with vaccines and stuff like that, but scientists also they also pray. And they pray to whatever they call him. It's God. We know it, Christians and Muslims and Jewish, and most religions call him Allah, God. We all have different names for
Jehovah.
him. But yes, we all have different names for him, but it's one spiritual being that is controlling, that brought us to life and is controlling our lives. And is capable of removing all challenges. So we cannot do, prayer is the best. We have to pray. The truth is, even humanists, call them,
atheists.
They still believe that there is a force out there.
Yes.
That is, controlling their lives. That can make things, that can do things, that can do the impossible. Some choose to call it luck. You can call it anything, but as long as you believe there is something like that, a power can change things. That's beyond you. Exactly, the power that is beyond you.
Yeah.
Call it luck, call it whatever it is, God, Allah, whatever. We all believe, and that is the ultimate. We have no choice but to pray, and we have seen prayer working in this country, and it will work in this country. It will work in this case of COVID-19. Okay. So we have to.
And someone even said God is a Nigerian.
No, I think I am.
Before you, from the Bitrus Gali.
Yes.
Said he want to believe that God is a Nigerian.
Yes.
Because there were many plots he knew that could destroy any strong country. About more than 50 done to Nigeria, but it's still
standing.
Yeah.
Still standing. I think we should thank God that God is really in support of Nigeria. I've always tell people that Nigeria is a special project before God. You just because we have to now take advantage of that special project. Although many people supposed to have been joining us in this program by sending their messages to us, and the number to send it has been displayed, but I just want to mention it for the first time, at least in this episode. Is 070-449-44949. That is the number you are going to send your messages or WhatsApp. Only WhatsApp and SMS. We don't call, please. Just send your WhatsApp messages and you will get it. You can also join us. This program is every Friday, 11:30 to 12:30 at NTA, and it's going to be repeated by God's grace by 5 p.m. every Sunday. this is a program that you can't afford to miss. Imam, what would be your final word?
My final word is believe in God that He is going to heal you even if you get contacted with corona, and He can protect you, but take precaution first.
Don't get infected.
Yeah, stay safe first, then pray.
Mr.
My last word, Nigerians, please, Nigerians, believe that there is COVID-19, believe that there is this virus, and it is killing people, it is affecting people. The fact that it doesn't come to you doesn't mean that maybe it's around the corner, God forbid. But please stay safe. Follow the regulations of government and follow personal hygiene too. Very important. And God will bless us.
Thank you so much. Follow the regulation of government and follow personal hygiene. Mr. Tang, we are very grateful to you. We thank you, and the work you are doing, God will bless it for you. Imam Nora Khalid, we can't thank you enough, because at the press of a button on your phone said Imam will be here. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
we
sir.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Until when we still meet again, my name is Imam Fuad Adeyemi. See you next time.